What's up guys, AJ Lapray here. We are out in the Pacific Northwest in a climate zone 8B, and today I want to show you guys all the 100+ different fruit trees we're growing, which ones have survived through the winter. We planted them mid-October, October 18th, I believe, and I have never watered any of these trees because I planted them on a swale system, and I'll walk you guys through what a swale is as well in this video. So we planted all sorts of stone fruit, peaches, nectarines, apricots, plums, pluots, like a combination of an apricot and a plum, and we planted apples and pears as well. Multiple varieties of all of those, and yeah, let's see which ones have survived, which ones haven't, and hopefully you guys learned something. I know I am as well throughout this walk and this process of documenting it all. It's kind of like a journal for my future self to come back and watch and see how we were doing, you know, 4 or 5 years from now, or just 4 or 5 days from now. It's May 1st. Our last frost just ended. The last couple weeks it got down to about 30, 32, 33 degrees at night. We lost some flowers, some leaves, but other than that, things are looking pretty solid over here. All right, let's get it. So with all of these fruit trees, I wanted to do it as simple as possible. I wanted to find out which trees were going to grow without me putting much care towards them at all. And then I wanted to take those trees and find out basically which ones I want to plant in the future that I know do best in this soil, in this climate. And I basically dug a 2-foot hole, dropped them in, and put a little mulch layer on top, and that's about it. And some of them, most of them actually, I didn't even put a mulch layer on until a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, for some of them. But yeah, we're on this swale system right here, standing on about 12 to 18 inches of wood chips, and we're using that as the fertilizer for all of these trees. Each fruit tree standing about 12 to 15 feet apart. In between, I plan on putting blueberries, some other nitrogen fixing trees like this red alder right here that is popping up. I'll eventually just be able to chop and drop with this instead of bringing in wood chips myself. But for now, this wood chip blanket is doing pretty good on this soil. And yeah, you can see it is all just breaking down just swimmingly in this swale, the swimming swale. I have to keep my chickens and ducks away from here because all they want to do is turn this stuff over, and I have strawberries and other things interplanted in here that I don't want them getting into. So fence is on the list as well. You guys will be coming along for that too. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through each of these swales from top to bottom and see what trees have made it with pretty much zero help from me, to be honest. Like right here, we have a gold kissed, I believe this is a nectarine. So up top, we aren't getting any growth, but I did prune them heavily in this top swale. But we do have growth down here. So I might coppice this one, or pollard, which basically is either going to cut it down here at the base once the growing season ends, or cut them all back to here, and hopefully that'll give it the energy to grow in its roots to take off more. So this is the first one, and it's kind of questionable. Here, what do we have? This is probably a peach. Yeah, this is a peach Reliance. It's done fairly well. We have what looks to be some fruits budding. It just flowered. Most everything besides the apples and pears flowered pretty early in the season, and we did just have our last frost of like right at 32 degrees this past 2 weeks at night. So some of these didn't fare well through that, but they were all looking really good prior to. What do we have here? Prunus Flavor Supreme. Honestly, I have to look up some of these, but that is probably a pluot. 1 second, let's look it up. Yeah, so this is a pluot. It's a mix between a plum and an apricot. And I would say the apricots and nectarines have been the ones that have, you know, not really been doing the best in this system. But we'll see what we can do to maintain and see what they can. Oh, hey, we got some new growth down here. So there is a chance. Like this last week didn't have anything on it. And same with this one, which I believe, we gotta watch out for these runner strawberries. We got what else? Raspberries, strawberries. Then I interplanted a ton of onions that are popping up in here as well, and flowers. So Gotta be careful hopping over. But Prunus avium stella. It's looking good. It looks like it's about to bud. So this is a Prunus avium stella, and that is a sweet cherry. So like I said, this whole first row of swale I heavily pruned, and as we go down in each of the swales, I prune them less and less. The reason for heavy pruning up here was I wanted these to really set in their roots, and by pruning it sends off a growth hormone to all these other trees to, hey, kick it into high gear, we got to put some growth into the ground, or else, you know, basically what it's thinking is this windstorm is going to kill us if we don't provide enough energy into our root system. Prunus mariposa. And this one's looking pretty good. So the Prunus mariposa is like a Japanese plum, and I wonder if it'll provide any fruit this year. But same thing, we've got runner strawberries, but my chickens came over here and kind of tore up a lot of stuff. Blueberries, flowering, looking beautiful. Charlie, what a beast. More strawberries. Hopefully we'll have some flowers popping up soon, but fingers crossed. So this is a Prunus angelus, which is a peach, and we have some ants running up and down. That's kind of a good sign. They're moving some sugar about. And we do have new growth down here. We would like to send it all up into the top, but this is coming along actually really nice. It didn't have anything on it about a week ago. Like I said, it's May 1st. Fingers crossed, we just had our last frost the last couple of weekends. At night, it got down to maybe 32, 33, so kind of a light last frost, and we're into the swing of spring here. I believe this is a cherry, but I have been wrong plenty of times. Yeah, wrong again. Autumn Royal Apricot. So you can see on here, it tells you the estimated chill hours requirements, and it does good in this zone 7 to 9. Same thing with all the apricots. Looked like buns a couple weeks ago. Like I was like, oh, I don't think any of these are going to grow, but they're coming along now with some growth. And like I said, heavily pruned on these guys. This is a Rainier cherry right here. Growth looking great up top. In this swale system I explained in the last video, I did this all in a swale system here. So what you're seeing, what we're walking on, is about 12 to 18 inches of wood chips that I've brought in over time. It was going to cost a lot to get someone else to install all these wood chips, so I've ended up saving a lot of money doing it myself. And I've been planting currants as well, and it looks like we have some fruit that are starting to come on. Let's freaking go. WW. This is a Gleason, Alberta peach, and we are getting some growth. Looks like a little bit of fruit coming on here. These flowered at least a month ago. This is what I love about this system. I could use them as paths, get my runs in, check on the trees every day. So this is where we started at. So far, everything does have growth. There's only been one that needs a little love, and I believe this is a Rainier cherry. No, this is a Stella sweet cherry. It looks like some of these want to pop up, so I'm not counting it out yet. Do have some rye grain and cover crop that's sort of snuck in and stolen some of the energy here. So I might cut all this back, trim it down, and see if this one comes along. We're counting that one as a no-go though. First no-go. What do we have here? A Babcock peach. Looking great for heavily pruned. All of these fruit trees are about 2 to 3 years old. Look at Turbo. Go get them, bud. All these fruit trees are about 2 to 3 years old. I got them from a big tree supplier and threw them in the ground without pretty much providing any nutrients for them. And now I'm coming back and filling these swales, giving them some love for the spring and summer here. Let's see, Rainier. So this is a cherry as well. It's doing okay. It's managing. I wouldn't give it a great score, but it's still alive. This is a pear, a pineapple pear. I'm excited to try these. Pineapple pears are doing good. Same thing, heavily pruned in this first swale. Here's a Honeycrisp apple, looking great. I decided to put all these apples in our most shaded area because they can stand the cold better than all these other ones that we have out here. The apples and the pears can, that is. So this is what a swale empty would look like. I've got all these branches that I had to cut down from other trees underneath here in this path. They're all doing their thing, decomposing, dropping down. And this is a Fuji apple, looking good as well. A little bit of a lean to it, but that's all right. Honeycrisp apple, looking good, even with the grass cluster underneath. But here's an empty swale. I'm kind of leaving this area empty for now just to show as an example of like what it would look like if those weren't full with wood chips, you know? Here's a Gala apple, also looking good. Have some beautiful flowers on it. Let's check them out. Hello, hello. My expectations for this year are 0 fruit. I just want root systems growing and getting their best chance of getting started for the next season, really, to start shining. So now we're into the second swale, and with these ones I prune them much less. Bumblebee putting in the action that we need. Awesome. And I will be interplanting these swales with, you know, I've sown in seeds of flowers, but they haven't really taken off a ton. I'm probably just gonna go get some and throw them in. Then I would like to start putting blueberries. I have some nitrogen fixing trees I'll show you guys as well. Here's a Gleason Alberta. I put about 6 varieties of each of these trees throughout these swales and spread them out a ton. I wanted the system to be super diverse and kind of be a surprise around every corner, really. So this right here is an apricot tree. Up top, we're not getting any growth. You can kind of see these ends are a little dark. I did prune this one, but not a ton. We are getting growth down here, so I might come back and prune these branches all the way off, just so it's not wasting energy up into here, and we'll focus on growing this tree back from the bottom, basically. So that one's not down and out, but it is down a little bit right now. This one's looking beautiful. Let's see what we have here. Arctic Rose White Nectarine. I'm pumped about this. Awesome. Win. W. We're serving lots of W's today. So this is a Prunus Flavor Queen. It's doing great. That's a Pluot, also a plum apricot mix. Doing really solid. And as you can see on some of these, I've already come back and put their mulch rings for the spring. And basically we're putting, this is their fertilizer for the next couple months. And this will all decay and compose down and feed the root system as it's extending out. Granny Smith apple. Look at these flowers, man. These are awesome. So here's the first one we've run into. We have a lot of birds that are coming through and landing on these baby branches, and yeah, taking them out. So this right here, I believe, is a cherry. Yeah, this cherry's looking good other than that. And it does have some new growth going on down here. It's looking good. We'll see if we can get some cherries going. Prunus mariposa. I believe I've already looked this up, but we're doing good. We're doing good. W's. Here is one that is not coming along great, but she's still fighting. So that's the gold kissed again. We have growth down here. It's just one of those things I'm probably gonna have to come back and snip around this area once the growing season's over or close to ending, so there's enough sap to fill the gaps. This one's a cherry, and it is no sign of growth on it yet. We'll count that as an L. I think we're down to 2 L's right now, but they were the same kind, so hopefully we'll run out of those soon. Okay, here we go. We have another Prunus Flavor Queen, a plum and apricot mix. There is some growth on it. Not doing great. We have some new growth down there. Down but not out. Here is, I believe, another apricot. Oh, this is a peach, actually. This one flowered early, and it is in a shade spot, so it doesn't get this afternoon sun. That might be what's going on with these 4, really. So in the afternoon, it's not getting any of that sunshine that it needs to kind of wake back up its system. Oh, almost forgot about this area over here. We're going. Here's one of the pears I've heavily pruned, and looks like the birds came along and helped me prune some more. So yeah, this just popped off, but what we're gonna do, gonna chop it up into some smaller little pieces. Just add it to the mulch pile. Seems like we got another one here that has already been taken down by the birdies. We had a heavy windstorm also, and I thought that's originally what was going on with all this, but ended up seeing some birds in the last video that were like, okay, those robins are too big to be on these trees. This pear is doing solid. Next to it, we have another one of these Flavor Queens. So it's not getting any morning sunshine. That's probably what's going on with it, but it did flower and dropped all of its flowers already. So I don't know. We're gonna call it out for now. Oh, just kidding. It's got some growth down here. It's not totally out, but it's sending up little suckers. So it wants to fight. We're gonna let nature do its thing on that one. Not calling it fully out, but definitely close to a TKO on it. Autumn Royal Apricot. This one looked totally buns the other day, but we do have some growth up top finally. And lots of new growth down low. Pretty heavily pruned on this. And here's the same one. These cherries are hit and miss. So three cherries down and out. Now we're going down to the third swale where I pruned even less. Just want to give these trees a chance to to do their thing and let nature kind of prune them, which is what's happening with these birds. So it's all about the perspective we have with it, right? Going into this, I've totally given myself zero expectations, and if I get any fruit or anything, especially after this first year, I'm gonna be stoked. Here is a peach, kind of in a little wind protected spot from these bigger trees. And it does get enough morning sunshine coming in and a little bit of the afternoon sunshine. Next to it we have, I believe, an apricot, and same thing with this one. I really thought it was all the way dead, but we do have a little bit of growth, so not down. What are we down? Down 3 trees so far, which is pretty good in my opinion, seeing as I just dug a 2-foot hole with my friends, dropped them in, and put the same clay back on top of the root system. This white nectarine, I didn't think it had a shot, but look at all this new growth. This is all brand new growth. You can see the color difference from last year's branches. And look at that, we got the ants marching up and down. They're pollinating right now, doing their thing for us. This is another peach over here, a Reliance, and man, this one actually looks like it might have the most fruit coming on out of them all. I believe that's what these are. This is awesome. This is awesome, brother. Almost just fell, brother. And we have an apple here, a gala apple, doing good. Same thing. These birds came through and just beat up these branches. So I'm gonna come back and just clip these off when I get a chance. The birds are being the windstorm. They're taking out the weak. All right, right here we have, I believe, another Granny Smith apple, which this was probably the leader here that was going to take off the most. And oh, just kidding, this one was likely the leader that was going to take off the most. Something took it out. Big bird. I mean, we have hawks, owls coming through at night that could definitely be hanging out in these trees. This one has really taken off very well. This is an apple of the gala nature. Let's see, new growth coming up out of these where I pruned at. It's like each of these trees just has a ton of owies. Ouchie wawa. But it's coming together. Coming together. The strong will survive. That is the motto. This is another Prunus mariposa. Looking good, looking strong. Running up on another apricot here. L apricot, I think. So we're gonna come back and either cut it down at this point or cut this off and cut it right here. You can almost see the color difference that comes up where it looks like it has life in the tree here, but as it goes up more and more, it just looks not too happy. So four so far. This one's doing good. I think it's it's a peach, the Gleason Alberta peach. Oh hey, glove. This is one of the swales that I still need to fill. Love the color of these clover. Same thing, branch, not too hot, but this is another Prunus mariposa. Other than that, it's looking good. It even has new growth down here. Here we've got a pear. What kind? Just kidding. Beauty plum. These ones were the first to flower, and they look to be the first to fruit as well. How about that? Let's see what this says. Ripens in June. We are about a month out probably from eating off this guy. That's the nice part about all these plants. All these trees are going to ripen around different times, so we'll be able to enjoy them throughout the season. The summer for sure, the fall definitely with apples and pears. This is a peach Babcock. It's got growth on it. Doesn't look great, but it's got growth. Prunus mariposa, looking good. And guys, this is all part of the permaculture system, and you could call this zone 2 or 3 from our house, basically. That it's a far enough zone away to where we don't have to tend to it every day. We've kind of just thrown it in the ground and walked away. But I will continue to add to this. Yeah, the things we're gonna use every day, like herbs and stuff, I'll probably put up closer to the house. But here looks to be another cherry that is not thriving. Is that 4 or 5? I've lost count. I think I'm at 5 though. This one's looking solid. Babcock peach. Like this is an area that is going to need a lot of wood chips. This is one of the deepest areas, definitely. It's probably 2 feet tall, and we've got deer coming through. This one's looking good. Honeycrisp apple. The growth looks really strong on it. The flowers are beautiful. Awesome. Okay, moving on. We have another Gleason, Alberta peach. This one looks great. This one looks really good. That's awesome, brother. Granny Smith apple, just beautiful red, pink flowers popping. These apples that are in this more shaded area are killing it. A Bartlett pear, looking awesome also, heck yeah. Okay, on to the next swale. That's three swales down. And it seems that through the winter, we've only lost 4 or 5 so far. And it's just been of the cherry variety and the apricot, I believe. So everything is looking up and up over here. Now we're moving on to this 4th swale. We've got one more to go after this. Let's see, wood chips are looking good. Worked on this, getting it going. Here is a peach that is looking good. Looked like actually a lot of growth. I believe these are all the flowers that are trying the best to turn into fruit for us. Here's another gold kiss that's just growing down at the bottom. They got hit with a little Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney knockdown, but not knocked out yet. Here is another cherry, a sweet cherry, I believe. It's got growth, but also looks like maybe some deers have been scratching on this. We get a lot of coyotes that come through here as well. Prunus mariposa, popping. Looking great. This is a beauty plum. Look at all of these plums growing on this guy. This branch is so small. If that actually is all going to grow, that's gonna be a break too. We got one break down here. The birds have been loving it. Just got to keep paying that nature tax, guys. Nature tax, that's how I'm viewing it. Whatever we lose, it's going to nature. They're gonna take these seeds, put them somewhere else. That's fine with me. They're gonna help us fertilize, help us pollinate. And yeah, this peach right here looks good. Actually, that might be, yeah, that is a peach. Doesn't have a tag on it. Another peach right here. It has growth, not looking the best. Lots of cover crop growth around it. So we're standing in one of the spillover zones for these swales. Essentially, when they fill up with water, we want to have a place where it can wash out. And that's what I've made right here. And it will be able to wash out to the next swale. Right here, beauty plum, looking great. I mean, this is insane. This is my first up close look at all these little fruits popping up. The plums were the first to flower, and looks like they're gonna be the first to fruit as well. This is a peach, a Babcock, I believe. Looking good. Ooh, this one's a fighter. This one is absolutely a fighter. Growth up top. It's a Flavor Supreme. I believe that's the mix between a plum and a apricot, aka pluot. Lots of new growth down low. Yeah. It's a fighter. Let's just leave it at that. Arctic white, nectarine. Looking good. All these little guys weren't feeling it though, so I'm gonna come back and just clip those off clean. What do we have here? This might be another plum. Yeah, Flavor Queen, pluot, plum, apricot, doing good. Retro. What's going on with this one? The Brayburn. See, this one flowered and was beautiful, and maybe the wind knocked them all off. I'm not counting it as out, because it looks like it is actually trying to fruit, but could be there's not another Brayburn close enough. I don't believe those are self-fertile. Prunus angelus, looking good. Let's see, I think this is a pear. It is looking fine, doing fine. Another peach right here, lots of peaches. I love peaches, but a lot of people told me those are one of the hardest to actually get to fruit in the area. So I planted a lot of them and put them in different areas of more shade, less shade. And it's paying off in some areas. Might move some things around. Golden Sweet, I think is a nectarine. This one is by far the worst off tree that I have out here. So what is that, 5? It did give some leaf and flower, but it just isn't looking good. I'm not counting that one. I think we're at 5, either 5 or 6. Here we have another Flavor Supreme plum apricot mix. Birds just doing what birds do, landing on things, just birding around. All right, as we move down to this last swale, like these last 2 swales, I didn't prune at all. So the birds are actually helping me out quite a bit. These guys are beating up as an apple. Let's see what kind. Brayburn, okay. So this Brayburn did really well right here. And that Brayburn right there, not so hot. What's this guy? This is a peach. Needs to be loosened up. Peach is looking good. I was worried about this one. this is a cherry. So some of the cherries haven't taken off. This one's doing all right. More deer crap. This, I believe, is a peach, doing good. We have some fruit that are starting to pop up. This is the swale I've been working on today. I brought in 4 loads of wood chips in my truck, and a lot better doing it for free this way than paying tens of thousands of dollars to bring in all the wood chips that I need. There's just way too much that I felt comfortable actually paying for. Autumn Royal Apricot, we've got growth. We're not counting it out, not counting it out. White nectarine, got a lot of ants on it. Little pollinators doing their work. Here's a Brayburn apple, looking good, great growth. Right next to a peach, Reliance peach. Got torn up by these birds, but that's all good. Nature will be nature. What do we have here? Babcock peach, which have done well in every other spot, but we've got some new growth right here. Actually, this one's questionable. Add it to the questionable list. This is a pineapple pear. Birds came through, beat it up a little bit, but it's still working. Still working. Peach, looking good. Just added these wood chips in today. Got to hit this little section, another little section in between there, and that will be close to the completion of the swale. I have this remaining area, and then what was it, 2 or 3 up? It's still empty, so got to hit that. Flavor Queen, looking solid. Next, we've got the Peach Reliance. Looking really good. I wanted to come through and prune these, but just kind of letting it do its thing. I don't know what's up with that. Is this good or bad? We'll find out shortly. I honestly just want to, maybe I just pull those off. Something about this color just makes me think might be a little blight or something coming along. Okay, this one has growth. It's a gold kissed again. Has growth, not down, or not out, but definitely down. This does not have a tag, and I believe that's one of the peaches. Doing okay, not great. Here's another peach. Doing okay, not great. I believe this is a plum. Flavor Supreme, it's a mix. Puat. I like this branch, it's long. When we're walking in the swale, you just be able to grab it, pull your fruit off. And these ones I haven't even planted. I've just left them in their pots and they are doing just fine. How about that? This is an empty swale, what an empty swale looks like. Getting no life to it at all. Just water running through it like a river. Char, what do we think? Okay, I believe that makes it, what was it, 6 or 7 fruit trees out of over 100 that didn't make it through the winter. We'll see how they do throughout the summer. On this swale system, I'm not watering any of them. I'm just using the swale to collect nutrients and water runoff down the hillside, using gravity to my advantage. And yeah, we'll see how it does through the next upcoming like dry season, and see how many we keep. So we are at, let's say, about 7 down. 100 and plus are in the green, good, going well as of now. And yeah, like I said, 0 expectations with this. We're trying our best. I'm throwing this system in, believing in it, that it will work. God's on our side for this. I'm almost done finishing up this swale system. It's a great system to control erosion on a hillside, because gravity, all this water is just flying down the hill. And this way, it's like a nutrient speed bump. Like I've been saying, it can catch all the nutrients, stop them in their tracks, let the roots of these trees soak into the hillside to help with erosion, but also benefit from all the nutrients that they can pull up as well. Follow along this journey. I'm going to be throwing in different shrubs, nitrogen fixing trees in between. I've thrown in red alder up on the first swale that has definitely the most love into it so far, because it is closest to me. That's how the permaculture zone systems work. Whatever's close to you will get the most attention, and that is definitely ringing true to what I'm doing in my everyday life. If you guys have any recommendations of what things you think I should plant in this zone 8B area, then throw them my way. Apparently people are saying we can put bananas, kind of some lemons, citrus, grapefruit, I believe, in this zone, and I would love to throw those in the swales as well, see how they do. Especially if some of these cherries and whatnot don't survive, I'll swap them out, pull them out, throw them into the wood chips, and use them in the swales. So, haven't had to talk this much in a long time, especially on camera. I'm running out of breath, man. And walking up a hill at the same time doesn't help. But like, just walking through here, it's just beautiful to me, like random purple flowers popping up. I want to get one of these sections just completely all flowers. So I gotta, and then get a beehive as well. That might be a future video, getting a flow hive, a beehive going that can help support all these trees. Char, you have anything to say? All right, let's go check on the birds and then shut this thing down. Appreciate you guys coming through, supporting me on my new journeys. This has been a fun transition in my life. Been able to put a lot of energy and effort into this. Hopefully it can succeed, and we'll continue growing this path all the way down these swales. Just doing it one pitchfork and wheelbarrow load and truckload at a time. So it's looking good. It feels like it's building our own park, really. And we'll have trails leading to all sorts of fun things that I'll get to take you guys along in the future. But much love, y'all. God bless. Good vibes, good times. Like, subscribe. We'll catch you next time. Peace.